Hi, this is John Hines with a couple of friends of mine. John Schuster from the John Schuster Group, Coldwell Banker Burnet, and Chad Bulloch, his senior buyer's agent, to talk a little bit about a couple of real estate facts in the June podcast. First of all, thanks for coming in. It's great to have this chance to chat with both of you here. Chad, welcome. I don't think we've had a chance to talk before.
We have not. Thank you so much for having us.
I'm glad that you guys are here. Let's talk about what's going on right now, because before we started to this podcast, we were talking sort of off the air about just you need more sellers because this is a hot market right now and inventories are down. Buyers are often in multiple offers because of that. So how do you win in a situation of multiple offers? How does that play out? Who's got that one for me?
Well, we're seeing a lot of multiple offers, right, Chad? I mean, it's across the board on a lot of our listings. I mean, what have you seen, Chad? I mean, Chad's our top buyer's agent for the team, and the guy is a phenomenal rock star. How do you get your buyers to win out in multiple offer situations?
You know, we stress communication. Communication really is key. We always ask our buyers how much they're willing to pay to win in multiple offers because it comes down to dollars. Typically, we look at about $1,000. Are they willing to, and then we ask the question, are they willing to pay $1,000 more than someone else to win the home? And they normally answer, yeah. And you know what? We love winning. We've sold over 200 homes this year already.
Yeah, and I bet they find the competition gets to be that way. So what's the first thing that somebody should focus on then in your home buyer process?
Financing, without a doubt.
Have that done before you even start.
Bingo.
Absolutely. We make sure that the buyer is pre-approved. If the buyer doesn't happen to be pre-approved yet, we refer them out to a couple of different lenders that we work with on a daily basis. Again, communication with that lender and the buyer is key for a successful transaction.
Well, and the listing agent, too. You know, when you present that offer, you know, they want to know, one, that the buyer is pre-approved, and they're pre-approved with a reputable lender. You know, if you have 5 or 6 offers to choose from, you know, there's different terms they're going to look at. Obviously, a cash offer closing quick is going to move to the top. If there's some more challenging financing or financing that maybe can be a little more stringent, like FHA or VA, these are all things that a seller is going to take into account when deciding which offer they want to go with. It's not always price. There's other terms and conditions in there.
As a matter of fact, I had a deal last week that went into multiple offers. There were 8 offers on a home in the price range of $250,000 to $300,000 in Northeast, part of Minneapolis. The listing agent told us that the reason our offer won was specifically because of the lender that was used.
Okay. Also saying the quality of your buyer then is another way to look at that, right?
Absolutely.
All right, now, as a senior buyer's agent, Chad, how many homes do you think a buyer should try to look at in one day?
You know, are you asking how many homes I've shown a client in one day? Or are you asking how many homes I should recommend? Because I would think
you get to a point where you start to get a little confused about,
oh, my God, well, the kitchens start moving from one house to the next.
Yeah,
and
so
like, you know.
What do you recommend in a situation
That's
like
exactly it. Typically we try to look at 6 homes or less a day. That's normally going to take us between 4 to 6 hours. Because after about 6 homes, the kitchens are going to start looking the same. Then we're going to start thinking, well, was that master bath in this house or in the other house? Was that yard and garage at this home or was it over there on that other street? So they all start running together. I really try to stress to my buyers, let's only look at 6 houses a day.
Well, it's kind of convenient, too, these days, because then after you've had your day looking, you can go back and look online and then remember what was in each of those places, because so many homes are well shown and appointed online. So
you can see so much online, and there's the little nuances when you're going through a house. You know, I'll always tell buyers, if we're looking at 6, 7, or 8 homes, and you know automatically that one of the homes is not going to work, get out of that house. I'd rather have you spend more time in a house you think you might want to buy than just spending equal times in each house. And that's finding the best house.
And sometimes we schedule the home to look at, and we drive up in front of the home in the street, and we don't even get out and go in.
I get that. Yeah, I totally understand that. Here's another question I've got for you, though. And being the senior buyer's agent here, is there 1 or 2 key questions that a buyer should have when they're talking about a particular home?
You know, that's a great question. Obviously, we've got to establish the budget. We discuss what type of home they're looking for. Of course, we're going to discuss bedrooms, bathrooms, large yard, big kitchen. But the main thing, we always discuss the disclosure, the seller's disclosure on the property. So they understand how old the roof is, what work may have been done on the home as far as updates, be it mechanical, appliances, etc. Additional bathroom may have been added. At the John Schuster Group, we believe that more knowledge the client has, the more power they have.
Oh, great. Now, you got a house under contract then at one point. Now what do you do with it?
You know, that's what sets the team apart, the John Schuster team. I've been on the team now for a little over a year, and the reason that I joined the John Schuster team was the fact that they do things different than most other agents around town. We discussed with the client prior to even looking at homes what exactly is expected and how the process works. We communicate with them over and over again. We're going to put in an offer. We're going to negotiate the offer. We're going to go to inspection. Your file's going to go to title work, and then we go to closing. And that's discussed on the front end before we even look at homes.
Well, and it's important. I think, in our initial buyer consultation, I think it's important that the buyer know from start to finish what the process is going to be like. And not just, hey, it's not just finding a house, but it's finding the right house that's going to clear inspection or inspection you're going to feel comfortable with, that it's going to be approved for your type of financing, and, making sure that there's no issues with title work. I mean, we just had one we sold on Prior Lake. It came back. The buyers are excited. They love it. It works for financing. Well, lo and behold, and it wasn't disclosed on the seller's disclosure statement, and we had a great lender that picked it up. It's in a floodplain. Well, do you know how much it costs to get flood insurance in a floodplain? We were actually able to get a surveyor out there immediately to establish the elevation of the property, and this is a service we just provided to our buyer. They are now going to be able to go to FEMA because of the information that we provided for them with the elevation survey, and are going to be able to get that home off of the floodplain, which is going to save them about $6,000 in flood insurance, which is huge.
Yeah, I would say so. So a lot of good things to know. That's the purpose for doing these podcasts. So I'll say thanks, Chad Bulloch. Nice to meet you. And John Schuster, always good to see you. If you listen to WCCO, I'm sure you've heard my endorsements before for John Schuster and his guaranteed sale program. So if you're thinking about making a move, call the only team that I'd call right now if I was going to sell my home. John Schuster and Chad Bulloch. Again, the number 612-900-3333 or online anytime at johnschustergroup.com.